I've been playing this Ice Wolf build since League start, and I am so glad that I did not listen to everyone telling me Wolf sucks, play Wyvern and Bear instead, because this build is absolutely shredding. It is so much fun. It has this perma-freeze. Everything you hit gets frozen instantly. Bosses get frozen really quickly, so they're basically doing nothing for the duration of the fight. Has really nice clear, very high single target as well. And overall, I'm just so impressed with how this is performing, and also with just how much fun it is. For people who played Ice Strike Invoker Monks in the past, this feels a lot like that, but it's more fluid and it's got this dynamic dashing in and out feeling to it, and it's incredibly satisfying to play. So today's video, I'm going to give you just a rough overview of the build. This is not a build guide. I will link the build in the description, but I'm going to just talk about how it plays, why I like it so much, and probably what I'm going to do next on it. So I'm going to talk about the different skills we're using and why. The main thing we're using to engage enemies is going to be Pounce. This like jumps at the enemy, and then Lunar Assault. Lunar Assault has a massive freeze buildup. You can see 576% more freeze buildup. That combined with freeze support and deep freeze means that enemies are frozen more easily and frozen for longer. So Pounce, this also has an interesting thing where it applies a mark. It has a built-in mark that summons wolves when you kill the enemy, but the wolves that it summons are really not that strong. They're okay for like the first act and then they fall off. So instead, you can link a different mark, and I'm using Freezing Mark, which allows us to further freeze more easily and gain extra damage against the target. So the play looks like this. So we pounce in and then we freeze with this, with Lunar Assault. Pounce, freeze. So after freezing enemies, there's a couple of other skills we're using. One is this cross slash skill. This is like one of the most satisfying skills in PoE right now, where you jump backwards, you leave this mark, and any icy fragments that we have caused also get pulled into the middle and then shatter. Icy fragments are coming from Shred. This is our basic attack. When we hit an enemy that is frozen, it creates these ice fragments that, like I said, get sucked in by the cross slash and then explode. So going in, it looks like this. We jump in, we freeze, cross slash. I know it looks like a lot of buttons, but once you play this, it's actually not that. It doesn't feel like a lot of buttons. But there is a bit more to this build. And that is this skill over here, Lunar Blessing. This is such a cool skill. So what this skill does is you sacrifice your rage and you gain this blessing that basically rains down all these moonbeams that are these like ice projectiles. And this grants a huge amount of damage as extra cold. And you'll see it massively increases our clear. So let's just find some monsters. Those little beams that are raining down there, those are what are caused by Lunar Assault. What is it? Lunar Blessing. So all of our werewolf attacks, while this is active, cause these moonbeams to rain down. And these really improve the clear of the build, but they also do a ton of damage. Now, another thing is that per rage spent, we gain 0.02 seconds. So this has a very high duration. If I push this button, I have an 18-second duration on Lunar Blessing. And the tech everyone's using is, if we link it with prolonged duration, as more skill effect duration, Second Wind, this also allows us to get 2 charges on it and basically get full 100% uptime on it. But now the question is, if we're sacrificing all our rage, how do we get it back? Because rage is a lot of damage. For each point of rage we have, rage grants 1% more attack damage, so we want to get that rage back as quickly as possible. The good news is that on the tree, we have a whole lot of gain rage on melee hit, but we can also link rage to Lunar Blessing, rage support, and this seems to count as a melee hit, all these moonbeams. So just by activating it, you can see this is my rage bar. I'm going to use my Lunar Blessing. Let's just kill something. All right, I use my Lunar Blessing. I attack and look at my rage. See how quickly it's going up? Each of these moonbeams basically per hit grant me, I think, like 12 12 rage, so this refills it almost instantly. So all of this combined plays like this. I know it seems like a lot of buttons, but if you decide to reroll into this, you get each of these like sequentially, and it doesn't feel like too much. Now, the other thing we're using, and this is just for single target, and we've got a few single target buttons over here, that is Arctic Howl, which allows us to deal added flat cold damage against frozen targets. So by pushing that button against a frozen enemy, like if you have a boss or something, you will jump in, freeze it, and then you can Arctic Howl, hit it a bunch, and then jump back and find a Divine Orb. Then for further single target, we have a few buffs. Savage Fury. This grants us more damage and also grants us Onslaught, which allows us to attack more quickly. And then there's also War Banner, which while it's active grants us more attack damage, accuracy rating, and attack speed. So all of this combined is going to look something like this. So we, just for mapping, hit our Lunar Blessing, and then we run around, we freeze stuff, we cross slash, we jump in and out. The Lunar Blessing actually does so much for our clear. I'll try find us a boss. So in case I didn't make it clear, something that is very important is that when we, let's say here's a rare, I freeze him and then I'm hitting him with my shred and then I'm cross slashing out. So hitting him with the shred while he's frozen creates those shards that then get exploded by the cross slash. When I get some more time, I'll write this all in the guide. But let's just do this boss. So I'm going to drop my War Banner. I'm going to activate my Primal Fury. I'm going to freeze this guy, hit him a bunch with my shred, and then we cross slash back, and it absolutely melts the boss. And he was frozen the whole time. Hopefully this all makes sense. A few other things to talk about are some of the sockets. So I'm using this Wisdom of the Magi. Gain the benefits of bonded modifiers on runes and idols. So this grants additional bonuses from these sockets or augments, whatever they're called now. One that I'm using is a Farrell's Rune of the Hunt. This grants us base 50% increased attack damage against rare or unique enemies, better single target, but the bonded thing is +1 level of all attack skills, which is a good amount of damage. This is actually comparable to a physical Iron Rune. And then the other one I'm using is a Glacial Rune. This gives us less damage than an Iron Rune, but it grants us 30% increased freeze buildup. Other one I'm using is a Boar Idol for rage on melee hit and increased cooldown recovery rate. The other ones I'm using are just like normal, pretty boring resistance life ones. The gear is very, very basic. Otherwise, it's just like I'm going ES armor for now and just capping my resistances, getting flat damage to attacks. The talisman, our weapon, is very important. I got this one at the end of the campaign, so I'm due for an upgrade. I know this video is like really all over the place. This is like a quick update, and the proper build guide will be coming. And in the meantime, I will try and update the written guide when I get a chance. But like I said, it's like Leaguesoft for Creators is super, super busy. I'm doing this all myself, all my written guides, editing, streaming, everything. It's all just me, so I don't have time for everything. It will come. I will be streaming every day, so if you have any questions about the build, do pop in. I will link the Mobalytics in the description. If you're wondering, that looks like this. This is just like a snapshot of my progression throughout the campaign with all my gear up to the current level that I'm sitting at. And I made this video to hopefully get you excited about Frostwolf because this build is so fun. And for anyone who is worried that they're FOMOing because everyone's talking about Wyvern, this build, it absolutely rules as well. So have a wonderful day. Proper build guide coming soon. Let me know if you don't mind these more sort of like off the cuff, not really build guidey, but build updatey videos. That's going to be it. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Catch you in the next video and bye-bye. I need to sleep.